So if you've done $1 million or more in real estate, would you consider yourself self-employed? Okay. Would you consider yourself a business owner? You would. Okay. So what do business owners, like, what's the eventual goal for a business owner? To make money? Yeah, that's the daily goal. But what's the eventual goal? To have something to sell. Right. So commercial real estate applies to all of you personally. And you may not have thought about that, but it was kind of, when Brian was going through all of those slides, I was thinking, you know, you guys are all business owners. The goal is for you to have something to sell. So if you don't know what an ROI is, that's probably, you know, an LOI, all these new, what's your cash throw off? These are things for you to learn for yourself personally, even if you decide not to go into commercial real estate on a regular basis. Would you agree? Yeah. Did you ever think of it like that before? You can admit it if you didn't. Probably most of you, right? Okay. So, let me see, did I cover everything on my little notes? Yeah. So I was thinking about some, right? Okay. I made some other notes because getting applause from behind. So I was thinking about, just like commercial real estate in general, 40%, according to NAR, 40% of commercial practitioners have a bachelor's degree. Kind of interesting, right? You don't need one to get into real estate, but 40% of the people who are practicing commercial real estate have a bachelor's degree, and 50% of people who are practicing commercial real estate own commercial real estate. I thought that was also a fascinating statistic. Typically, according to this statistic, and I got this off of the NAR website, by the way, so you guys can go, and I strongly recommend that you do go and read it and just become familiar with it. It's like a super huge report, actually. There's lots of good data in there. The people who are practicing commercial real estate have about 25 years of real estate experience, 20 years specifically in commercial real estate. So they were doing something else for 5 years and then got into commercial. They are typically 60 years old. Holy cow. What's the typical residential age? Anybody know? Yeah, exactly. Right, so commercial people are about 6 years older. Is there room? When I read that, the first immediate thing that came to my mind was, wow, there's room for young people in this business. There's a lot, in my opinion, there's a lot of room for young people in commercial real estate. 51% of the people practicing commercial real estate are in sales, and 16% are in leasing. I think that's also market dependent, right? Because there are so many markets where leasing is not a primary industry. Here's the thing, though, of course, that I'm just completely distraught over. 70% of commercial practitioners identify as male. So we got to change that. What? Except for, no, residential is different, right? Right, women rule in residential. Only in sales. More male brokers, more male owners, more male managers. I don't know what's up with that. I recently had the opportunity to attend the CREW conference in Orlando. Has anybody heard of CREW? And it's not where you row. It stands for Commercial Real Estate Women. Commercial Real Estate Women, right, CREW. Pretty fascinating. So for the women, so I'm going to now be gender biased. So for the women who are thinking about doing this on a full-time basis, you might look into CREW. They were, there were men also involved in the organization, but primarily it's women. Yeah, so like if you're a single guy, might be a really good place to be. Right, because there were like 1,200 women walking around. Very intelligent, very motivated, high-powered women, super energetic organization. So if you are going to get in and you want to join an organization, CREW was pretty dynamic. So that's my my intro stuff. I was going to say something about where you're sitting, because where you're sitting is like location, 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 right? And that's also real estate, and there's nobody next to you, so what's that? That's vacant property, right? So don't let that chocolate go to waste. You know, that's like a top concern of mine. So if you're not going to eat it, pass it forward. Okay. I'm glad some of you are awake. So let's see if I can do this. Okay, good. So in commercial real estate, I'm going to give you a bright overview. And somebody in the back, when it's 11:45, you need to like wave to me so that I can make sure that I keep you on time so that we get to lunch before it's cold, okay? Unless it's a cold lunch. And then I'll just talk forever. So commercial real estate has different markets, and there are different kind of, some are franchises, some are company owned, and Brian referenced the CBRE, commercial, Coldwell Banker, Richard Ellis, but CBRE is what it's now. We are Coldwell Banker Commercial. We see ourselves as a Main Street commercial franchise, not as a metropolitan. We're not going to be in the big, you know, Chicago, New York, LA. You're not going to find us there. You're going to find us in communities. So we consider ourselves to be Main Street. Here are the different, how it kind of breaks out for the different companies. You guys have probably heard of Colliers, Cushman Wakefield. Do you have any of those in the Keys? By the way, is there a Colliers down here? A Cushman, right, that would make sense that they would not be because they're more metropolitan. Okay, and Brian went over a lot of these numbers already. We started in San Francisco. We did start as a commercial company, and 1031s, you guys do that in residential real estate, right? So it's the same kind of a thing. There is a whole new acronym dictionary that you're going to need for commercial real estate. And these were examples recently of transactions that took place within Coldwell Banker Commercial. So I just wanted to share those with you. I'm moving kind of quickly because I actually want to get to the meat and potatoes of the tools that you guys can have access to that will actually drive income and increase your personal ROI, right? So leads are everywhere. The focus is getting the right leads to the right people. So we have a partnership with ROFO, which is a referral network for real estate. And those leads actually, again, it depends on who's filling the funnel. So if you're here in Marathon or Key West or Key Largo, Isla Mirada, Big Pine, and you don't put leads into the funnel, then there's not going to be any outgoing leads. Same with people who are in, I heard somebody talking about, I think they were like from Monmouth County, New Jersey, or where was it you? So if nobody in Monmouth County, New Jersey is putting leads in the funnel, we're not going to get any leads. So it's not like we can say, oh, on average, there's whatever, 800 leads a day, because it all depends on who's filling the funnel. But those leads would go to the primary contact person for your company, and then internally they would be distributed however the company policy is for them to be distributed. Market research. So within Coldwell Banker Commercial, we do market research, and outside, before you came in, there were some booklets and pamphlets, and I think some of you probably picked them up. One of them was a triple net, one of them was, I think, student housing. Maybe we had one on, I don't think I had a multifamily out there. So we do, I got it. So we do different research based on different markets. We also do an annual report, and that report is market specific, and again, it's based on what you feed us. You're the local expert in your market, so what's happening in your market, you tell us, and we call it the Blue Book. You tell us, we put it in our Blue Book. It's a historical and a predictive book about what's going on in the commercial market. That's a good slide. What do you think I wanted to do with that? Oh, I got fancy. So here's one of them. This is retail repurposing, student housing, Coldwell Banker Commercial University. So and I'm going to show it to you. We're going to go online and actually look at this stuff. There's a bunch of courses that you can take that you already pay for. So, and of course you have to be designated within the DASH system, which is our behind the scenes system. You guys probably don't even touch DASH, don't even know what I'm talking about when I say DASH, but it's a behind the scenes software program for Coldwell Banker, and you have to be designated as a commercial person to have access to the stuff I'm going to show you. So if you're not yet, when you leave here or you're doing it on your phone right now and you can't log in, it's probably because you're not designated yet, so you have to get with administration to make that happen, okay? Yes, get with Ruth. Did you guys all hear Ruth? Call Ruth. So within Coldwell Banker University, we've just updated a lot of our course material, which I love. I'm so happy that we did. So there's a new hire orientation, the CRE Accelerate. I highly recommend this, especially if you have not done a lot of transactions in commercial real estate. Where's the guy who's what's your name? Paul. Paul apparently has done a lot of commercial real estate, so CRE Accelerate probably isn't going to be for him. But for everybody else who hasn't done a lot, I recommend it. I took it myself literally just to evaluate it to see whether or not I would recommend it. I recommend it. So, and then there's CRE Win, which is a blended course. The CRE Accelerate, it's self-paced. There are quizzes at the end so that you know whether or not you're learning and retaining the information. And you can go back if you fail, you can go back and take it again, so nobody's going to know but you. And then the CRE is in person and virtual. And I wanted to show you, well, so it depends do you do, when you do a listing presentation, do you do it online? Not online necessarily. Do you do it electronically or do you do it in paper? You do it, it's a blend? You guys do a blend? Okay, so when you finish the Accelerate, you get a certificate. So if you do put something like that in your listing presentation, that you can scan it and stick it right in your electronic presentation. All right. LinkedIn Learning. Anybody in here on LinkedIn? Just a couple of you? So, with LinkedIn, once you become a CRE, commercial real estate agent through Coldwell Banker, you get a free subscription to LinkedIn Learning. And there are over 5,000 courses on LinkedIn Learning. Literally, you can learn about how to publish music. You can learn about photography. You can learn about, I didn't look to see if there was like woodworking stuff, but there are so many courses that you can take on LinkedIn Learning. And the reason why I bring that up is personally, I like to be intellectually stimulated a lot. So I like the idea of LinkedIn Learning, but if you're working with a customer, for example, and they want to open a guitar pick manufacturing, and you don't know anything about manufacturing guitar picks, go on LinkedIn and find out if there's a course about it, or at least about guitars, so you can speak guitar language, right? Do you think that the client or customer is going to be more likely to work with you and more loyal with you if you can at least relate to what their industry is? For sure. So take advantage of the LinkedIn Learning. Let me ask you this. Does anybody in here use LinkedIn to market any of their properties? Okay, good. Good. So again, as you become more engaged in the commercial arena, this might be a great place, right? Because it's pretty much professionals are on LinkedIn, right? And that's what they're looking for. So if you have an article, you can share an article, you can position yourself. But the biggest thing I like is the LinkedIn Learning. And if you take a class that you think is really good, you can add it to your profile. And guess what? Then the people who follow you see that you've taken this class on whatever, and they can, thumbs up or whatever they want to do. In We have the Top Producer Series, there's Real Mentoring, and two things I want to mention in March is when we have the Global Commercial Conference, and that's going to be in Austin, Texas in 2020. And on November 6th, less than a month, we're doing a Florida statewide commercial meeting, and that's going to be in Merritt Island. And the last time I looked, I think there were about 35 people who were registered so far for that. And some people, I had somebody coming down from Canada for that. I had a couple people coming from Georgia, Alabama. It is primarily for Florida, but I like the fact that people are coming from other areas because it gives network opportunities. Would you agree? Right. So you can broaden your sphere of influence. I know that that's the same day that Mike Ferry is coming to visit you guys. So if you haven't signed up for Ferry and you're interested in commercial, that might be a good place to go. So 2020, this is what we're looking at doing. Refreshing CBC Worldwide, which we just did a refresh. I think it came out like 10 days ago on the website, which is exciting. And I'll show you that. More online leads, less print, more digital. That's another direction we're going at. Build out syndication, and that's syndicating the listings. We do syndicate within CBC, but build out has some security issues that we have concerns with, so we don't take full advantage of their syndication, and we won't until they get their security issues straightened out. And transactional in a CBC database. So ICSC, this is for retail. This is an industry organization, and it's for retail, and Coldwell Banker Commercial has a presence at the ICSC conference in Las Vegas. Crew, I told you that I just went to that conference and we support that. The CCIM, more, as Brian said, there's more Coldwell Banker agents with CCIM designations than any other organization like Colliers and Cushman Wakefield and all those guys, and then our regional events. So we've got that stuff going on. So there's opportunities for you to connect with people. So I have to go over there. So with Coldwell Banker, you get a free membership to Reese. And this is really market data driven, this information. And you connect to this through Blueprint, which is essentially our homepage, right? It's our intranet for commercial. And within Reese, it's mostly, and I'm showing this to you because you have access to it, but the closest market where you're really going to get demographic information is going to be Miami. It has main markets and it has sub-markets. I went in here looking for, no questions, I'm in charge. So, I am not Brian. That's right. Keeping control of this classroom, right? No, yeah, go ahead, what's your question?
In Presenter, in Blueprint, you do have demographics.
We do.
For this thing, for here. Okay.
Oh, that was a question or a statement?
With both.
All right then. What's his name?
You'll know what the image.
So you can in here, again, I bring this to your attention because you get it. It's part of the, being part of Coldwell Banker, Commercial, Schmitt, but some of the data is not going to be extremely relevant to Monroe County. It's really for metropolitan areas. I even went in and I looked for sub-markets, and along here, these are tabs for you to click on. Is that this thing? Check that out. Right? So fancy. So here, these are tabs that you can click on. There's property valuations, there's real estate news in here, and up here you can go up there. Again, this is a resource for you. The demographics probably are not going to be real strong. You're going to get your demographics out of Blueprint. This, though, If you, I also wanted to point out that if you are working with people from, I read recently that China is no longer investing heavily in real estate in the United States. Anybody pay attention to that, read that? They've learned what they needed to learn and now they're investing in other countries. So they're leaving us, and it used to be in the mainland of Florida that Canada, UK, and Germany were the primary international investors in commercial and residential real estate. Is that so down here? No. Who's the primary international investor down here? I didn't hear you. Canada? Okay, so this will, what Reese will do is it will translate into English, Spanish, German, Japanese, Chinese, and Russian. So if they speak French, it won't translate for them. Okay, so we're gonna have to rely on English. So I just wanted to share that with you. Can you switch me to another tab at the top? Blueprint, do you see it up there, Drenda? If not, I'll come over. I would go in here and play, okay, when you get your password. No, but this is fine. We'll go here. So, I probably have to physically go over there. So, this is CBC Worldwide. This is the website. This has been refreshed. It has a new look. So if you were on here last month, it looks totally different. But let me get my computer. This is Coldwell Banker CBC Worldwide website. In the upper right-hand corner, you see those bars? That's your new menu. And it drops down to talk about properties, professionals, offices. So in here, I'm just gonna click on professionals because we assume that if you're on here, you are one. Right? Right. So I can go in here and let's just say that where in Florida do a lot of people, if people are moving to, maybe not even Florida, but if people are moving to the Keys or they're establishing a business in the Keys, where would you say they're immigrating from? I mean, domestically. Say it louder. Miami? Do you have people coming in from Miami to buy commercial real estate here? Ohio? Is that what she said? Michigan? Okay, so up here, I can search for professionals in those areas. And and I'm gonna pick Miami just to make it easy for me. And when I do, then commercial folks are gonna pop up, right? And you guys know this, and this is within the system. These are not commercial people that are with some other system. And I'm just gonna take a quick look. Every now and then, look at that, Jacqueline. Have to have a word with her. Let's see who she's with before I open my big mouth. Don't do that. Put an image there. And it doesn't have to be your image. If you want an image of the office, that's fine. You want an image of the sunset, that's fine. But put an image there because what does that tell people? Is she in the business? She sells high rises. Okay. It's better than the grayed out, silhouette. Right. But please fill out your profile. And let's just pick on this guy. I'm just going to pick on him. Hang on a second. I want to get to his name. Because what I do from time to time, because who knows what I am, I'll just go and look and see if their bio is, for my accounts. Anyway, I don't know who this particular Sam is, but I'll go in and I'll read somebody's bio just to see if it's complete. Would I work with that person? And if I wouldn't, you get an email from me because I'm just so bored with what I'm doing. I just need to tell our people. Make sure that your bio is complete. And it's about what the consumer is going to be interested in, right? I did this, I did this, I did that. Ugh. Tell me what you've done. How has the consumer benefited from what you've done to help them? You might put some hobbies in there too, because people of a, what do I say? Birds of a feather flock together, right? So if I'm a mountain climber, I might put that in there. Or if I have some kind of hobby, maybe I'm a fly fisherman, or maybe, you know, I'm a quilter, I don't know. But you might put something in there that's gonna connect the people to you, because I'm like, oh my gosh, that person hiked the Appalachian Trail, I hiked the Appalachian Trail. That's so cool. We have something to talk about immediately, right? And that shouldn't be your primary bio, but it should be a little human in addition to your business stuff. So, and if you wanted to look up properties, we can go here, offices, careers, intelligence, and let me just, I just want to go look at my notes to make sure I'm not leaving anything out of CBC. Give me a sec. Where is it? CBC. Intelligence. This, if you're going to be in commercial, I would go, there's 4 sites that I'm going to tell you about: CBC, Worldwide, Reese, Blueprint, and Build Out. Be familiar with those sites. Go on them, probably, I would go on them often. Several times a week, for sure. For sure. Where am I? I'm in the intelligence. So we can go and we can learn about the different markets. You can see we basically did metropolitan markets here. But again, if you're brand new in real estate, and I mean commercial real estate, obviously nobody in here is brand new in real estate. If you're brand new in commercial real estate, do you know even the jargon, what to talk about? Maybe not. So come and read some of this stuff. At least you can be intelligent and say, I was just reading an article about Miami, blah, 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 right? I think it gives you a leg up. Where I'm gonna go now. Where am I? Okay, Blueprint. Blueprint is our, like I said, it's our intranet. It's a humongous site. It's full, you can get lost in here by, just by looking around. But I suggest that you do. You'll find some of your favorite places that you'll want to go. So let me just share with you. And of course, this is me. I've logged in. I have, you know, company ranking is 0. It hurts my feelings every time, right, that I log in. My self-esteem is adversely impacted. But I'm not associated with a broker, so I don't have any information. You will, because you're with CB Schmitt, right? Okay. It does say I have 116 sales, so I feel good about that. None of them are mine. I don't know why I have those sales. But I'll take them. Blueprint. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff I want to share with you on Blueprint. News. If you go to the top where it says news, you'll find updates and information about Coldwell Banker Commercial that you can read, that you can check out. Awards are open, so if somebody here should be nominated for an award, you need to read that article. I want to go also to events. This is, we already talked about those events, about the Synergy meeting and about the global conference in Austin, ICSC. The last 3 years, Coldwell Banker Commercial has been a sponsor at the ICSC conference in Orlando. The main ICSC conference is in Las Vegas, Nevada. That sucker is humongous. I think this past year there were like 4,000 or 5,000 people at the ICSC conference in Orlando, just to give you an idea of scope. It's pretty stimulating, I will tell you. Like Brian was talking about that he had the land lease for Walgreens. Walgreens is at this conference. You name it, they're at this conference, if they are in retail. And if you, again, are a beginner, I think, I want to say that I think like dues, membership fee is like $125 to join ICSC. Maybe I'm wrong. It's 800? I don't remember paying 800. Really? Well, that's discouraging. I thought it was cheaper. So, well, we'll check, because I know I didn't pay $800. But anyway, so, but again, if you really want to be in this business, and retail is, what is your primary commercial down here? Do you have a lot of manufacturing? You have a lot of industrial? Right. You probably have some storage warehouses. That's probably, you know, your industrial. So commercial is probably retail, right? What else? Hospitality. Right, because medical's not a big thing here, right? Right. So, so hospitality. So if Publix is there, Winn-Dixie is there, Subway is there, all the food franchises are there, the dollar stores are there, and what happens at ICSC is it's a meetup. So if you have a vacant piece of land, or you have a building that needs to be leased up, you can schedule appointments to meet up with them while you're there, or you can go around and peddle your wares, because they all have booths too. And there's also a lot of education that takes place. It's the energy is really incredible at this thing. So if you've never attended, and then we also, I think we go to Boston, I think, and there's another one out west, I think, that we go to. I'm just really happy that we have the one in Florida that we attend each year. Okay, so then if I want to go to professional, I'm at the top and I'm clicking. If I go to professional, there are a lot of different topics. You can see this main tool that goes all the way down. And let's, just for fun, I'm going to tell you about Blue Mail. You see Blue Mail right here in the middle? So I clicked on it, didn't I? So Blue Mail allows you to mail to all of the CBC brokers if you want to promote and push out one of your properties. You want to send a listing, you want to do a blast, you can do that through Blue Mail. I believe you're allowed 2 blasts per month. Okay? Of course, I can't do it because I don't have any listings, but I want to go back to professional. There's also Campaigner in here. Campaigner is different. Blue Mail is a blast. Campaigner allows you to put people on a campaign. Okay, that's here. Demographics. This is intelligent information for you so that you can start speaking to your landlords, your sellers, your buyers about markets. Let me see, what else do I have in here? Public relations. Let me scroll down here. Public relations. This, I have to confess, we don't have this on the residential side. So I'm thrilled that we have it on the commercial side. So there's templates right in here for you if you wanted to, and I'll click on the templates, right? If you wanted to write a press release, if you wanted to put something on social media, we have templates in here so you don't have to think. All you have to do is steal.
Good word for it.
Hmm?
It's a good word for it.
Right. I love it. It makes it so easy, right? Because you want to get the word out, but you're like, ugh, I don't have the time to think of something. Well, you don't have to think. Just plug in the right words into the template. Going back to professional. So in professional, again, there's a lot of stuff for you to go in and play with and check out. I'm wondering if I have under public relations also there are media contacts. So if, for example, you have, I don't even know, but let's just say there's a hospitality he mentioned, Josh, right?
Yes.
Okay. That he mentioned that there's hospitality is big here, and so maybe there's a chain that wants to come into the area, and their headquarters is in Salt Lake City, because there's a lot of hospitality in Salt Lake City. So he reaches out to them in Salt Lake City, and where was I with this thing? I lost myself. Oh, with I think I was talking about PR. So he wants to send a press release to the news, the Salt Lake City, whatever, Tribune, about what's happening here, about whatever. This is national. The PR contacts, the newspaper contacts are national. Okay, so don't limit yourself to this geographic area. Send it all over the place. Okay. And then there's other marketing materials in here that you can take advantage of. There's just so much. There's an email, you saw that, the email signature generator. There's just a ton under professional, and it's all for you. The intent is for you to take advantage of it. Administrator, that you're not going to worry about that because that has to do with the administrator of the office. I'm going to jump over to tools because there's a ton of stuff in tools as well as professional. So, a financial benchmarking study, again, this is information that is fed to us that we package and then regurgitate and give it back to you. So you participate in this. When we have a call for information, it's really important that if Brian or Ruth or Drenda or somebody says, hey, we need information on what's going on in Key Largo, or we need information on what's going on in Key West, that you provide it so that then we can compile it and put it in a report. The leadership series, commercial awards, remember we talked about the awards, that the nominations are open right now. Anybody in here under 30? You're not? Oh, you're not? Well, you guys look good. So if there were, we have an under 30 category for our commercial. So in tools, I want to go, I'm going to go to the library because this is where also you're going to find stuff. Look at this, right? There's just tons of information under the library. Information overload, is that what you said? Yeah. I know. And now I'm going to go to learning because I just, why not? No. Oh, is it time? Time to shut up? Okay.
45.
Okay, thank you. So, if I go here to commercial university, you see I went to learning at the top. Well, wait, I'm not going to do that. I went to learning at the top, and here I'm going to type in the word DARE. If you were making notes, this would be a good time to write something down. Oh, I didn't find anything. Hang on a second. Let me, yes.
You have until 12:15.
Oh. My time just got extended. I hope that's a good thing for you guys. So, where DARE is dynamic ads for real estate. And I'm going to go to tools and see if I type it in there. Yeah, because I was learning. This is where we typed it, right? I typed it in library? Well, let's see. Nothing, honey. Let me type in dynamic. The other day, was there, I should have. The other day it worked. Let's try it again. Unless they change something, and that's always possible. That's too complicated. Anyway, in here, if you search for DARE, which is dynamic ads for real estate, Yes, go to, I'm in the right place. I don't know why it's not coming up. I think it's just being persnickety. It was here the other day, I tried it, and it came up. So, and it's D-A-R-E, and I'll just tell you that it promotes your relevant listings with unique creatives on Facebook and Instagram. So if you have commercial listings, you can, through the DARE program, you can promote them. There is a cost, there is a fee associated with it. The other thing I wanted to, so I'm back in I want to go back to learning. And here you see Lipsy trainings, right? Do you see that? Lipsy trainings. So I'm just going to click on that. I wonder if they lost it when they did the refresh. Let's try that. Come on. So over here, I don't know why this oops, it comes up, oops, you can't find it. Don't let that discourage you. Because right here, you'll see it says Lipsy Learning. It's right there. You click on it, and all of these courses show up. Okay? Lipsy is he's kind of like a Mike Furry for commercial real estate. He's extremely well known. He's an authority on commercial real estate. And so if you look through here, look at all these courses. So you don't know anything about commercial real estate, you want to start to educate yourself, you can get yourself a bowl of popcorn and take a look at the Lipsy library, right? And I would do one course at a time because just like, what's his name? Just like Sam said, information overload, right? You have, you're drinking out of a fire hose, you don't have to.
This is in addition to this stuff here?
Yes. Sam is asking if this page is in addition to the education page that is in your notebooks. And the answer is yes. This is additional education. So that was Lipsy, right? And I'm back here in Coldwell Banker under the Learning tab on the blueprint, and I want to click Commercial University. And this, Sam, is going to take us to the page in the notebook. Here we have different courses, but here's something else. If you're going to take a note, you might want to write this down. Because on this page, it appears that there's just 3 tiles, right? But if you go up to the catalog, it expands. And if you scroll down, there's the CRE Accelerate is in the lower right-hand column, which, again, I suggest that you take. And it's not going to take you like 12 hours. I forget, a couple of hours, I think, is how long the program is. Maybe it's 4 hours. But the other thing that I wanted to point out was there's videos. Here's a top producer in videos. Like, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I want to watch a video. I'm visual, I'm audio. I get my information. I move on. I don't have to read a manual, right? So I just wanted to share that with you. There is also a new professional orientation. Do I see that here? Yes, right here. The new professional orientation, that's 90 minutes long. Well worth it if you're launching into the commercial real estate and you want to learn what Coldwell Banker Commercial has to offer you. 90 minutes is, and do it as a group, however you want to do it, but I suggest that you take advantage of that. So also where am I? In Blueprint, right? You can create your own personal website. So this is probably something else you want to write down. It's a one-pager. And you get, with that one-pager, you receive a URL for that website. It's not a website that's going to be searchable by Google or Bing or any of the major search engines, or even the minor search engines for that matter. But you get this URL, and the reason why I suggest that you create the website is because it is a legitimate URL, and then you can email that URL to your customers. You can put it on your marketing materials. So you're driving consumers to you, right? So that's something that's available to you through Blueprint. Let me go back. I think I've covered all of the tabs. Where am I? Nope. 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 Oh, here. Yeah, I think I've covered all the tabs in Blueprint. There's so much information. Just go in here and play. I mean, it says in here that there's a University of Phoenix partnership. I have to be honest with you, it's a discount in tuition. I didn't know that that was available to commercial professionals, so I think that's fantastic. The continuing ed discount, this is for providers of education outside of Coldwell Banker for other companies. So what have we not touched? We have not yet touched Build Out. Is anybody familiar with Build Out? Well, Josh and Paul and Brian. I'm really good with names, right? And Sam. Where's my Build Out? Build Out. I have to go to Chrome. I was working on Internet Explorer, but Build Out is not compatible with Internet Explorer. You have to go to Chrome for Build Out. Okay? So here I am in Build Out. And if I scroll this down, look, there you guys are. So I'm in Build Out. And Build Out is, it's a marketing tool, and right now, and I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint to show you, I think, where we syndicate. Right now, I think I typed in, did I type in your zip code? And that's how come Florida popped up, because I wanted to see Coldwell Banker, and if I click here for Coldwell Banker Schmitt, I get 5800 Overseas Highway. Anybody in here have that listed? Josh. Yeah. That was a plant. We did that in advance. It was, yeah. No, there is nothing coincidental. So it's now, Build Out does have a syndication feature where it pushes the listings out, and I think I mentioned that to you, that we are not using their syndication feature at this time because their back door is kind of like a screen, so anything can come in and out of that back door, and Realogy is not real comfortable with having that kind of a vulnerability. So we are working with Blueprint to put a solid wood door there so that we can send stuff out, but then we can close the door and we're secure. So, and we are working on that, and I think that was one of the things that was, that we're hoping to have accomplished in 2020, that we can take advantage of their syndication. So just know that, that if you're talking to a seller and they want to know where the listings are going, we do not at this time take advantage of their syndication. What they have that we take advantage of, they have these amazing templates. And my Build Out is going to look different than yours because I'm not associated with a real estate company. But they have templates where you can have your form letter, you can have your flyers, you can have your marketing pieces, you can have your market analysis, so that all you have to do is then drop in your new property into this, and everything is very consistent. I know that you have a phenomenal in-house marketing team, but you can also use this to augment what you have in-house already. Okay, and why one of the things that I really like about it is templated, so it's uniform, so you don't have to recreate. You have to set up the first time, and then you don't have to recreate it. You just have to drop your new stuff into the template that you have created. And I forget, and there's add-ons. If you wanted to have additional templates, that you get X number with your being a part of Coldwell Banker Schmitt. But if you wanted to have extra, I think it's like $30 a month to subscribe to an enhanced package, which is still very reasonable. Because do you know what did you subscribe to this, Josh?
I didn't do the subscription, I just, once it changed over when you guys added it.
You took it? Okay. It was significantly more expensive, and I can't remember, because when I had several guys, and I'm not just using that as a generic term. Remember, 70% of people in commercial are men, and so all the guys that I was talking to were guys, and they used Build Out, and were thrilled that they then got it because they could save X number of dollars per month. Because that is one thing to be aware of. Take advantage of every tool that we offer that is free, because commercial is significantly more costly than residential when it comes to using marketing materials. So yeah, take advantage of everything that we have. What you upload, and it's also you have to upload your listings into Build Out. Right now, again, because that back door is a screen, we don't have Build Out and Dash. Again, that's our back room. I think, do you guys use Realist IQ? Who's your third party? Okay, so for you guys it's Realist IQ, for me I'm talking about Dash, same philosophy of what we're talking about. We don't have it as a one data entry, again, because their back door is a screen. So you do have to enter the listing into Build Out, and then once you enter the listing, you can and I would say, and the more data, don't be lazy. The more data that you put on that listing into Build Out, the more robust all of your flyers and marketing materials will be when you're trying to promote this for your seller, your landlord. What else am I? Once you create an email, a link to the materials, you can post that on social media or on your website. Again, so you're driving the consumer back to you rather than away from you. And the email copy is automatically created. You just have to cut and paste. Again, trying to streamline, right, and make this so that it's really user-friendly and that you can be as efficient as possible. Let me see. There's a ton of information. Anybody else feeling like Sam? Little information overload? Yeah. Let me just go back to this. I think we were on Reese. We did Blueprint. We did CBC Worldwide. And we did questions, so we're done. Do you guys have any questions? Wait, I can go over there. Let me put this back in its place. Well, Josh has a question.
I just wanted to go back because...
Oh, I have to go back over there?
No. You talked about... I went to Build Out because presenter in Blueprint was rough. Is it still rough? In terms of...
Yes.
Yes, okay. So are you going to get rid of that eventually and Build Out will be the main, like, package maker, marketing stuff?
This is being recorded.
Yes. That is a yes. That's what I mean. All right. Do you have any time frame on that?
No. There is no time frame.
And the other question is the website, the one-page website?
Yes.
Can you put links on it?
No. Did you guys hear that? He asked on that one-page website. No, it is exactly. It is a static website for you to use just as a URL to drive people to you. Okay. Any other questions? I know it was probably the most dynamic presentation you've heard so far today. I'm glad he laughed. Yes, ma'am. So what is your first name? Melma. Did I say that right? Okay, good. Melba. Melba. Thanks. Throw me under the bus. So Melba, are you talking about on Coldwell Banker Commercial Worldwide? Yes. Those are Coldwell Banker commercial listings. Does that make sense? Did everybody hear the question and the answer?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? It's pretty exciting. How many of you have actually ever sold a commercial property or leased a commercial property ever? Oh, wow. That's fantastic. Mostly buying and selling or mostly leasing? Buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, leasing. What did you lease? Retail space? Okay, that's great. And that happens. You know, there's primary, secondary, and tertiary markets, right? And you guys are in a tertiary market, maybe even a, whatever the quad is. There's a lot to learn. I mean, I think it's really exciting. I love commercial. I think that it makes you well-rounded if you're doing commercial. I also, it broadens your sphere of influence if you're doing commercial. I think it makes you a better residential real estate agent if you're doing commercial because your depth of knowledge is so much broader. I think I think learning about commercial is just, I think it's great that you're making the commitment to your careers and to your businesses to be here. Is that it? Any other questions? What time is it? Is it lunchtime? 12:05. Any other questions? Well then I'll ask you one because I apparently can't shut up. Do you think you will use any of the stuff we talked about? Yes. Okay, good. Did anybody get exposed to something they didn't know about? Yes. Okay, good. Do you feel that Coldwell Banker Commercial has more to offer than you realized? Yes. Excellent. Are you happy that you're with Coldwell Banker Schmitt? Yes. Good. Right.